Livestock production is responsible for about 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. The majority of that is in the form of methane, which is more than 25 times as potent as carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere. Most of that methane is a natural byproduct of how livestock, particularly cows, process food. But as NewsHour Weekend's Christopher Booker reports, scientists are hoping that small tweaks in what cows eat can dramatically reduce a major source of these climate change causing emissions. This segment is part of our ongoing series, Peril and Promise, the challenge of climate change.
At the University of California at Davis, 18 cows are cordoned off from others on the campus's dairy facility. They're part of an ongoing series of studies to dramatically reduce the climate impact of dairy and beef production. Globally, cows and other livestock are responsible for about 40% of methane emissions, a potent greenhouse gas. In digesting their high-fiber diet, cows emit methane as a byproduct, making them one of the least climate-friendly sources of food on the planet.
The idea was to try to see if we can do something about the way in which the methane is being formed by giving them some additives.
Ermias Kabrab is a professor at UC Davis, and he's been studying how dietary supplements affect the amount of methane a cow emits, almost all of which comes out of its front end.
About 89% of the methane is actually being formed in the gut of the animal. And almost all of that is then eructated out or belched out from the animal, so the nostrils and the mouth. We don't care about the back end.
Kabrab's research has shown that it doesn't take a lot to dramatically alter the amount of methane burped out. In a study that was published last year, his lab found that adding just 3 ounces of seaweed each day reduced methane emissions by 82%.
I've been in this business for about 20 years or so, having this amount of impact, it was it completely blew my mind. You know, I didn't even believe when I saw the results first. You know, I did not expect it at all.
Those results have since been replicated, and Kabrab's lab is now testing other kinds of methane-reducing additives that have shown promise in lab tests.
Cows are creatures of habit, so they don't like when you change things on them.
Mallory Honan is a doctoral student at UC Davis and running this 12-week experiment testing a new microbial probiotic additive called Amplio.
I will sample their milk as well as their blood. I weigh them weekly just to make sure that we're not compromising any of their important production parameters. Because if we feed an additive that reduces methane, but then it compromises all these components that the farmers are paid for, then it's not really actually helping.
Measuring the methane requires a special stall called a green feed machine that delivers little treats called cow cookies. While the cow is inside this stall eating, data on methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen are collected.
They have access to the green feed all the time because methane isn't emitted at a constant rate. So if you measured methane from a cow right at this moment, that's not necessarily what she's emitting all day because it's very much linked to their feed intake. So we want to be measuring methane over a 24-hour scale and getting as many data points as possible.
Testing the impact of these additives requires meticulous control of the cow's diet. Each animal's total feed is carefully measured, and electronic collars ensure that each goes only to its own stall. The additive being studied and a control placebo are also carefully measured.
These trials are really proof of concept to make sure that they're eating the full dose and that we're seeing the effects from that full dose. Because when you scale this up and go to a bigger commercial farm, they're not going to be able to measure everything so individually. We're going to be seeing everything at a herd level. So this is our opportunity to see the effect that it has on an individual cow.
While many of these additives are not commercially available yet, Kabrab hopes that costs will be minimal and might even be offset by farmers selling carbon credits for the amount of greenhouse gas emissions reduced by the supplements.
In California, we are even especially incentivized because we have on the books on legislation to reduce methane emissions by 40% by 2030.
Kabrab says interventions like the one he is studying are key to feeding the world without worsening climate change.
There's always going to be more demand. I mean, particularly in low-income countries, the demand is growing. So we're trying to come up with solutions that is applicable around the world and try to sustainably produce animal source food. So solving this or reducing it significantly, by additives, by different methods, that would really help us into going into a carbon neutral livestock production system.